Welcome to day 2 of your 100-day blogging course. In today's video, we are going to have a look at how to choose a topic for your blog. Choosing a topic for your blog involves three main components. You have to think about talent, you have to think about the market opportunity, and you have to think about passion. The combination of all the three gives you the highest point of contribution, and your blog topic has to be an overlap of these three. First, let's talk about finding your true passion. Think about what you are generally interested about. What magazines, blogs, or websites do you visit? And also think about what do you talk about with your friends the most. It's not about the content that you consume, but it also what is the type of content where you have some unique thoughts about it and you like to share it with other people. So you might be interested in any topic. It could be travel, it could be technology, automobiles, AI, space exploration. It could be about coral reefs or anything like that. But of all the topics that you are interested in reading about, now start thinking about what topics you like talking about. Because blogging is not very different. Because your blog readers are your friends and you are basically writing articles for them. It's just like sharing your thoughts with your friends, and that happens in topics where you have some of your own unique ideas and thoughts, and that's when you add value. You just don't want to consume content and just deliver it in a different format. You want to add your own ideas to it, and that is what blogging and being a thought leader is all about. If you are choosing a topic where you just read about it, and if you are not passionate about it, if you don't like to talk about it very much, then it's a very uphill task to maintain such a blog. You can't always keep doing new research and trying to come up with articles, and then you will not be a category leader in your blog because there will be other people who are even more passionate about that topic who will do a better job than you. So finding this passion is one of the most important tasks in coming up with a topic for your blog. Then the next one is to measure the market opportunity. If you are involved in a market, you will know the demand automatically. To give you one example, when I started my first blog Bike Advice in 2008, I was searching for Bajaj Pulsar review on YouTube. I did not find any review videos, I did not find any articles with quality reviews, but I saw there was a ad for Bajaj Pulsar which actually someone recorded from TV and put it. It was not even officially done by Bajaj, and this ad had more than 1 lakh views. So I instantly kind of knew that people are searching a lot about Bajaj Pulsar, but there is not enough quality content online. So that's when I started the blog, and from 2008 to 2012 I ran the blog and took it to a million page views a month. You should also do keyword research. Keyword research is a good way to find out what the market needs. There are various methods of keyword research. I will link to a few resources below this video so that you can go ahead and find out what people are searching for in the search engines. Also, if you think that you have to enter a market where there is no competition, then it's a very wrong way to think about it. Because if there is no competition, then it also means that there is no market opportunity. You have to think that competition is good. They prime the market, and competition makes the market ready to purchase products and services. So to give you an example, when you think about the digital marketing training market, you know very well, if you are watching this video right now, that there are so many digital marketing training institutes and programs out there in the market. And that's a very clear indication that there is a huge opportunity, or there is a huge demand in the market for digital marketing training. So here the needs of the people are validated. Our job is to find a gap and fill it. So what I did was that instead of just competing directly with other digital marketing training programs, I competed with them in a different way by offering my programs at a different price point and in a different format. And I'm still able to penetrate the market by having this unique angle. So that's what you also have to do when you start your blog or your business. Let's talk about skills and expertise a little bit. So you don't need to be the best expert in the world to start blogging or start selling information products. You just need to be better than your students or your followers, and because your students and followers would prefer to learn from someone who is just one step ahead of them. So to give you an example, let's say I want to become more fit in my life. I have been working too much for the past 1 year. I haven't taken care of my health very much. So if I want to become fit, where would I take advice from? Let's say I have a friend who was not very healthy 6 months back, but now he has got into a good exercise regimen. I would take advice from him because he's just one step ahead of me, and I would believe that I can become like him because I saw him become fitter in the past 6 months by just doing some simple exercises and having a proper nutritional meal. So here I don't want to go ahead and take advice from, let's say, a bodybuilder or a fitness training expert, because they are much ahead of me, right? So when people need experts or when people need mentors, they look for someone who is just one step ahead of them. So when you think about yourself as an expert, you might not be the world's best expert, but you just need to think about if you are better at something than your blog readers or than your blog audience. Like for example, I would completely agree that there are much bigger marketing experts in this world than me, but that doesn't stop you from reading my own content and purchasing my courses, even though you agree that there are better experts, right? Because I deliver it in a different format, I deliver it for a particular market. We will talk more about brand and category leadership, and it will make more sense. So, small recap: match all the three as much as possible, match talent, market, and passion, and try to find a topic which matches all the three. So what is branding? Branding is the way that your customer perceives you. So what do your customers feel when they think about your brand is what branding is all about. So you have to build a good blog brand. You have to build a brand that is trustworthy, useful, and a friendly brand. I have been trying to build a trustworthy brand for the past 5 years with Digital Deepak, and if at all I screw up with something, then I go ahead and apologize with my readers just to maintain my brand image, because the brand that you are building is your ultimate asset. So do a small exercise. If you are sitting in your living room or your bedroom, just look around all the products that you are using. There are many brands around you, from mobile phones to many appliances to household items and things like that. So each one is a brand, and think about these brands and think about what it makes you feel, and analyze that feeling, and then you will understand more about branding. Think about what your brand wants to stand for. Like for example, when you think about Digital Deepak, I want you to think digital marketing made simple. So now let's talk about category leadership. This is a very important concept in trying to build a brand. People always remember number one, they don't remember number two. When you think about who landed on the moon first, we think about Neil Armstrong. But two people landed on the moon, that was Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. But nobody remembers Buzz Aldrin. Maybe if you ask 100 people, maybe one person will remember Buzz Aldrin. But Buzz Aldrin is as important as Neil, and because you can see in the picture that they both went ahead and hoisted the flag on the surface of the moon. So when you think about best electric car, you think about Tesla. When you think about best premium laptop, you think about Apple. When you think about the best LCD or LED TV, you think about Samsung or Sony. So here category leadership is very important. So when you think about the category that you are going to blog about, you need to be the number one. You cannot afford to be the number two. Yes, I said that you have to go ahead and attack markets where there is competition, but you need to differentiate yourself by actually operating in a smaller niche, or maybe offering a different type of content or a different angle to what you are providing than the others, so that you can become a category leader on your own. So the next question I usually get when I talk about category leadership is that what if the number one spot is already taken? Then I would say that go ahead and pick a category or a sub niche where you can be number one. So to give you an example, let me talk about who is the first Prime Minister of India. Everybody remembers it's Jawaharlal Nehru. And if I ask this question in a room of 100 people, around 20 people can answer who is the second Prime Minister of India, that is Lal Bahadur Shastri, and less than 5 people can answer who is the third Prime Minister of India. They don't remember it. But think about who is the first woman Prime Minister of India. She is the third Prime Minister overall, but first in a new category, that is woman Prime Minister. So Indira Gandhi is more remembered than Lal Bahadur Shastri, even though Lal Bahadur Shastri is the second Prime Minister and Indira Gandhi is the third Prime Minister. So that is the power of category leadership. People can associate one particular brand or one particular name as the number one in a particular category, and they cannot remember number two and number three, but they can remember multiple categories and who is associated with each of these categories. There are many digital marketing bloggers in the world, and there are many experts. So who is the best marketing blogger in the world? You think about a few names. Who is the best marketing author? You probably think about guys like Seth Godin. But what I am trying to do is that I am trying to be the best marketing blogger in India. So most of my content is more oriented towards India, because I am trying to create a category leadership in India and not competing with the other players. So that is the only way to become a well-known brand or well-remembered brand. So like if you think about digital marketing experts and if you think about an SEO expert, you will think about Brian Dean. And Brian Dean has this blog called Backlinko, and he only blogs about SEO, not anything else. He blogs a little bit about other digital marketing topics as well, but when you think about an SEO expert, you think about him. And then you have johnloomer.com. So John Loomer just focuses on Facebook ads and nothing else in digital marketing. So when you think about the number one blogger when it comes to Facebook ads, you think about John Loomer. So you can either differentiate yourself in a category or you can differentiate yourself in a geographical area. So I blog about all things in digital marketing, including SEO, email marketing, social media, etc. But I am trying to create a category leadership in a geographical region, which is India. Let me give you a case study. So my first blog, Bike Advice. When I started, there were many automobile blogs. There were already motorbeam.com, indianautosblog.com and things like that. I did not want to become number third in becoming another automobile blog where I blog about both cars and bikes. So since they have already established their brand, even if I develop a better content or better product or service, I still wouldn't be able to remove the brand perception that is already there on the market. So here I had to make the sacrifice. I wanted to become the number one in bikes alone. So when people think of motorcycle blog focused on India, they think about Bike Advice. So categories will branch out to more categories over time. You don't need to worry about competing in a single category. And if you think that the number one position is taken up in all the categories, just wait, just observe the market. You will see that the categories are branching out to more smaller branches. So you think about blogs, then there are automobile blogs, then there are motorcycle blogs, and inside motorcycle blogs there are premium and lifestyle motorcycling blogs. So few decades back, cars were just cars. Cars were introduced, so people stopped using horses and they started using cars. And as the car market matures, you see there is a branching in it. Then you start seeing luxury sedans, you start seeing hatchbacks, you start seeing SUVs and different car categories which come up. And after these categories, there is further branching out. Like for example, BMW, Volvo, Audi, they manufacture luxury cars, but BMW focuses on driving pleasure, Volvo focuses on safety, Audi focuses on engineering. Go ahead and look at the marketing campaigns or the websites of these brands. You will know that BMW is trying to make a category leadership where if people want to focus on driving pleasure and people who want to self-drive their luxury cars, then BMW is the car to go for. If people are mostly focused on safety, then Volvo is the best brand for safety. So that's how it keeps branching out as the market matures. So this time when I start a new motorcycling blog, when I am starting a new blog for this training program, I will be focusing on premium motorcycles only for India. So right now I don't see any strong player who is just focusing on premium motorcycles. So there are many blogs who blog about motorcycles, but they blog about all kinds of motorcycles. I will be focusing on premium motorcycles and mostly in the touring segment, not in the sports segment. So what are the next action steps for you? So think about your passion topics and passion areas where you want to blog about, what you are interested in, what you like talking about to your friends. Think about if there is a market opportunity and competition. And if there is no competition, then think twice and then really do some research if there is a market opportunity out there. Do you have the skills for it? If not, can you develop it? This is a very important question because sometimes you will not be able to develop skills for certain things. I focus on developing skills in areas where I can have the maximum contribution. So I am passionate about digital marketing. There is a market opportunity for digital marketing, but I did not have the skills to record videos and edit videos like I am doing right now, but I developed the skills for it. So think about if you can develop the skills for it. And as always, if you have any questions, please comment below this video. And if you have any further questions, I will go ahead and create more videos and add it to the same day, because today it's all about thinking on what topic to blog about, on how to choose a topic for your blog. So thank you for watching this video and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.